Welcome to another Pixel Game Maker tutorial. Today's other runtime action we're going to go over in this series is the back and forth moving and turning runtime. Now, an important thing to know about this runtime is that it requires a certain type of movement. So if we're to exit this screen here and go to moving and jumping, you'll see that the move type, there's three types with the default being basic. So the only way we can use this runtime is with the tank and the vehicle method because that's the only time you're moving forward based on an input and moving backwards based on an input. And that's what the runtime's for. So we need to have either the tank or the vehicle. Now, the tank and the vehicle, they share the same method of moving as far as when you press an input, you move forward. When you press another input, you move backward. And then you can also press a couple other inputs. One will turn you left, and then the other one will turn you right. Now, the only difference is that in the tank move type, you can actually turn left and right while you're not moving, and that object will rotate accordingly. Where the vehicle, the only way that you can turn left and right is by moving. So if you were at a standstill stop and we're trying to turn left and right, the vehicle will not turn left and right. It has to be moving. Now, there will be a more detailed video on all of these details here, but this will be enough to get us started for this runtime. So let's click on our tank move type, go back to our actions, click on the add, and let's click the box, check it. And we'll see three parameters. We have a move parameter, turn parameter, and then the display direction. Now, generally, I would recommend to keep the match move direction. However, if there is another direction that you would want it to be facing, you can select it from here. I'm just going to leave it at match move for the rest of this video. Now, if we go to the move, we can do the normal vehicle tank movement. We can move forward or we can move backward. So if we click on move forward and we hit preview, you'll notice that the tank moves forward. And if you were to click backwards, let me close this. If you were to click backwards here and you previewed, it would go backwards. Now you can move forward and then you can also turn right. Right now the turning was on none, so it wasn't doing anything. So if we turn it to right, this is the effect that we would get. We would get a tank that is moving, and as it's moving, it's rotating by turning, and it's going that new direction. And then we can also turn left. So if we move backward and turn left, then you would see that it would do exactly what it's supposed to. So we clicked tank movement. So one thing that we can do with tank movement is we can actually click no movement, and we can just click that we want it to turn right. So if we preview that, you'll see that it is not moving, but it is rotating right accordingly. And now if we were to go to, I'm going to click OK here, and if we were to go to moving and jumping and click on the vehicle, and now we went to preview with no movement selected, you'll see that it just stands there and it does not move, it does not turn, nothing. And that is because the vehicle has to be moving in order to turn. So I'm going to put it back to tank for the time being. And so those are the parameters that we have. I'm just going to leave it at none and click OK. And then I'm going to click on the adjust the scene or adjust after placement on scene icon. And that lets me adjust this particular object accordingly. So if I went to scene, went to objects, let's just say I added a couple tanks here. One right there, one right there. And now we have the runtime action that we can change after placement. And let's say this one I want to move forward and turn right. And this one I want to move backwards and turn left. This one retains the move forward, turn right. And this one will retain the move backwards, turn left. If we play test, they both can act differently. So again, if you want to make it to where the movement is more specific in your scene, then you could easily just set it up and click OK real quick with the none, and then you can set it up in your scene. Just make sure that you have this icon clicked. So that is how back and forth moving and turning work in Pixel Game Maker MV. If you have other ideas or cool things that you've been working on with this runtime action, feel free to post in the comments below. and we will see you in the next video.